What's up, everybody? It's Jim. This is the first of a 7-part series on Zillow. And so today we're going to be talking about winning that first conversation. And so each of these descriptions is going to have, each of these topics, is going to have just a basic explanation process, and then we'll do a role play as well right after. So today we're going to talk about winning that first conversation. And so I have trained these guys really well, and this is what I hear all day long when Zillow calls. Sorry, this lead has already been claimed. And so I'm going to probably rely a little bit on Eric and Cody. So Eric and Cody, why don't you guys give me your perspective on what we mean when we talk about winning that first conversation. So I'm going to mute myself here real quick. And Eric, why don't you go first, then Cody, you go.
All right, sounds good. I think Cody's on a call, maybe a Zillow call that just came through. Winning that first conversation, yeah, it's a big challenge, but it's going to depend on the person that calls in, because some people are just confused about the Zillow concierge system. They think they're talking to Zillow. They don't know if they're talking to like a call center overseas. They really don't know what's going on. And just reassuring them that you're a local agent here that actually works in the community and that you can help them with their search. So it's a little bit tougher if a house is already sold or pended or has a contract on it. But just trying to find out why they clicked on that house in the first place. Why are they looking? Why are they shopping around? What about that particular house did they like? Positioning yourself as that subject matter expert that can help them navigate this huge transaction, this big financial decision, is going to be key, especially in those first really 30 seconds.
Gotcha. And so Eric, you talked about, a lot of the discussion on the house points, but let's talk about more when we're talking about winning that first conversation. What are you doing? So like, let's say I call in on 123 Main Street. Are we talking about 123 Main Street, or are we talking about why 123 Main Street?
Why any house at all? You want to get to that root motivation. Are they relocating? Are they going through a divorce? Are they, looking at houses for someone else? You need to find out that root motivation, and you can tell when a conversation goes really, really well on through the Zillow concierge system if they forget about that house that they clicked on. That is how I kind of gauge whether or not that conversation was a success. If they do consistently push back and just ask for those details on the house, absolutely provide them that information. I try to approach it with the Zappos approach, where they'll stay on the phone as long as they need to. And there are articles and late night shows making fun of the fact that they've had Zappos employees that are on the phone for like 12, 14 hours. If that's what I need to do, then I'll do it. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but I know Cody Myers, he helped someone get to a showing for a house that we were not listing, and the showing was with an agent with another brokerage. But at the end of the day, he's going to get off that call, and that prospective client who's working with another agent is going to have an overall better opinion of Hatch Realty. They're going to have a better opinion of Zillow because they had a question, they got the help and the answer that they needed. Even if it didn't ultimately end in a closed transaction for us or for Cody, that person is probably going to go and tell people about Hatch Realty and how we helped him get to his showing with another agent.
Nice. So Cody, are you off your call? Johnny Karate down there?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, there it is. Sorry. Right. I'm still figuring out this spacebar mute. There's a little bit. I was just setting up. I've got a Facebook Live going within the group, just fielding some questions, giving a little behind the scenes there.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Well, that's great. Well, yeah, so, we had talked about winning that first conversation. I got Eric's perspective. What does that mean to you?
So one of the things that I think about with conversations like that, and that example of becoming or leading that one guy to the showing for that didn't even belong to us. One of the big things that I see is that even on situations where they already have an agent or the house is pended or whatever like that, like it's always a chance to create cheerleaders. We can provide service that is not directly selling a house. And I think that's winning the conversation. At the core of it is really connecting with people, connecting with, those potential clients or just those consumers at the end of the day, creating cheerleaders and, really helping them solve problems, whether that be, directly related to real estate or otherwise. So.
Yeah, I think I like that. I think another big thing is, just not talking about the house, talking about the person, and not trying to get off the phone as quickly as possible. I've had Zillow calls that were half an hour, and I've had Zillow calls that were a minute, and I'd much rather take a half hour because it's better quality and it actually will lead to something longer term. Because I've been doing this for 5 years, right? I've had, I would say honestly, 20% of all my closed deals are from people that told me no the first time and have followed up over the last 4 years. And that's where it's really come from. So just because they're not a yes right now, if you give them that first positive experience, it's going to be a much better experience long term, and you have much higher likelihood of them coming back to you. So so here's some kind of key points. I mean, Eric and Cody, I'll ask you guys for your perspective, but the key points that I kind of have for winning that first conversation. Let's talk about the person, not the house. Let's help them even if we're not going to get the business like Cody did, because ultimately that affects your CSAT score, which we're going to talk about in another video here shortly. And really that's what we're looking for, is even if those interactions aren't wins GCI wise and helping clients wise, they're wins score wise, which long term is going to bring you in more free leads, which is a huge thing because we all like free leads. So Eric, Cody, have any other points? And then we'll get off this. And then what we're going to do is you guys will see in this channel, you'll see role play of us doing this a little while later as well. So any other points, Cody and Eric?
No, I'm super excited for this series. I think there's a lot of good content that we've kind of been bottling up for a little bit. So I'm excited to really dive in, especially given the kind of climate around Zillow leads. And I mean, there's no way around it. It's a controversial subject right now. There's a lot of people who are starkly anti-Zillow. There's a lot of people who are very, very much pro Zillow, and there's people who are stuck in the middle. And so I'm excited to kind of give people new tools and new ideas around interacting with Zillow leads. So it's going to be a good series. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, Eric.
I concur on the same thing. I was going to bring it up. Regardless of your stance towards Zillow, they're a huge key player, and we get a lot of business from them. So we want to help other people just maximize their profit from those Zillow leads, and that's what we're aiming to do. So let us know what your questions are. What do you guys want to see us talk about, discuss, cover? I think the CSAT score will be a big one because there's a lot of, it doesn't seem super clear on how they measure those and how that impacts our Zillow profiles as they're viewed by the consumer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be a really interesting topic. So we haven't really talked about the why we're doing this series. So let me give you guys some perspective. So I've been in this role for 5 years. I probably have a couple hundred Zillow closings. Last year, we closed 56 deals from Zillow, and we are actually at that number or above that number right now in June. So everybody hates concierge for some reason. They think it's a waste of time. They hate Zillow because they think, they're going to take over the industry. But really what we want to talk about is, how do we maximize that ROI for Zillow for you, and how do we adapt when the marketplace changes? And so, concierge came on and it changed things, and we were scared about it too at the beginning. But now, honestly, my biggest problem, as you guys have probably seen with dialing, is actually getting a hold of someone on the phone. So if I can get 4 or 5 live connections a day from Zillow, which I don't know, Eric, I think that's probably the number that we're probably seeing, 4 to 5 a day.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want to know how to have those conversations? And why wouldn't you want to know how to have a good ROI on that? Because I fully believe we'll hit triple digits this year on our Zillow number, which will be great. And that'll be a great ROI. And I could sit here and complain about Zillow and they're taking over the industry and everything else, or I can just learn, hey, this is how we have to adapt, and this is what I need to do to be profitable for my business. And that's what we're going to help you guys with. I want to help you guys be profitable. I want to help you guys help people that need help. And hopefully this will be a good series. Immediately after this, you guys are going to see a role play on us kind of explaining it, kind of talking about that, winning that first conversation. And there's going to be 14 parts. So we're going to have 7 explanations and then 7 role play videos as well. So you guys can kind of see it. So hopefully that helps. Let us know what questions you guys have, and we'll see you next time.